the hardest time in my life, and it's so bad. I'm going to be honest with all of you. This is bad. This is not good. Um, I'm hurting. We're all hurting here. I know you guys say it's grieving. It's more than grieving. There's a lot of stuff going on in my life. This is not just grieving. Um, this is like a catastrophic event. I don't know what else to say. This is catastrophic. That happened to me and my family here, me and my children. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle it. I can't believe it's real. I can't believe anything anymore. Like, if you ask me anything right now, if you would ask me anything, if you would say, is this the real world? I can't answer the question. I can't even answer that question. Are you, Rich, are we living in the real world? I'd be like, I don't know. I'm not kidding you. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. This doesn't seem like the real world to me anymore. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if this is an altered reality. I really don't know. Because I just can't believe. Okay, so we'll go through it. So it starts off, my wife passes away. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to even get into a long story about it. Let's just say that she, to me, displayed no signs for the longest time that she was even remotely, doing bad. I mean, she looked great to me. Like I said, I used to forget she had cancer. In my opinion, I used to forget. I mean, she doesn't have cancer. This girl. She was like strong, like an Italian Scottish tank. She had the Scottish in her and the Italian. And this all happened so fast. Okay, that's it. I don't care. People say, well, she had cancer for 10 years, Rich. Didn't know she did because she didn't act like she did. And that's what I base it on. I don't base it on anything else. We used to always go to the doctor's appointments, me and Jen, and the doctors would say, Rich, your wife's dealing with something very serious, right? You understand it's stage 4 cancer, started as breast cancer, metastasized. I never took it seriously because I looked at my wife and she looked fine. She looked good. She looked great. And that's all I based it on. Like, Jennifer would be in the hospital. The nurses would like run in there and they'd be like, she's a full risk. She's a full. Jennifer would laugh. She's like, I'm fine. They're like, do you need assistance going to the restroom? She's like, no. She said, I'm okay. I could do it. I just don't understand what happened. This whole thing seems like it's not real. You see, when something seems like it's not real to you, it's very hard to accept it. That's why I wrote a song. I wrote a song called Acceptance is the Hardest Thing. Acceptance is the hardest thing, especially when things don't make any sense. Things have to make sense in order for you to accept them. If something doesn't make any sense, how are you supposed to accept something, right? Let me just do this really quick. Acceptance is the hardest thing. Original song, yours truly, Richie Lavoie, a.k.a. the Apefather. Give me 1 second. Let me just fix this keyboard. Little technical issue. Sorry about that. Let's do that again. It's an original song. Acceptance is the hardest thing. As we progress in the live stream, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my Cash App. It's the $ Richard Lavoie. It's the $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. When someone comes, they're going to put the Cash App in the description of the video. Well, once again, it's the, let me see if I could just write this down really quickly. Give me 1 second here. Oh, thank you, thank you, Jessica. Jessica just pinned it. Here it is right here. I just put this on this envelope, a little sloppy, but it's the $ Richard Lavoie. That's the Cash App. $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. That is my Cash App. If anybody would be good-hearted to make a very small contribution, I'll talk to you about all the benefits that you'll get. I upload a beautiful video for you called the Thank You Song, giving you a big shout-out, playing the piano for you to celebrate your good deed, celebrate my wife's and my mother's life. We'll talk about that in a second. Hey, Jessica, I want to ask your opinion on this here. I'm not going to mention names, but I don't know. There are people out there, right? So check this out, Jessica, who come across like they care about you. You understand? They come across like they really, really care about you. They love you. They care about you. Now, if someone loves you, right, Jessica, and if someone cares about you, don't you think that that love should kind of be unconditional, right? And also, they should understand when you're going through a tough time, right? What's up, Will? They should understand that you're going through a lot in your life, right? Like, let's say you lost your mom. I'm talking about the kids now. They lost their mom. They lost their grandma. In my case, my wife, my mom. We had the wildfires. I don't know if you know this, right? Out in Jersey, we had the wildfires, which we almost had our house burned down. I mean, that was unbelievable. Loss of my income because I was my wife's caretaker, my mother's caretaker, loss of around $7,000 a month. So no support system, Jessica. You would think that people would understand this, right? Well, here's what happens. I notice a lot of times with people that come across like you're very close to you, whether it be family, Jessica, or whether it be they're your very, very close friends. It's all about their feelings, Jessica. It's all about their feelings. So in other words, like, let's say you say something to them that hurts their feelings. You say something to them that they find to be disrespectful. Now, maybe it's because you're in a bad mood. Once again, don't you think someone like me and you, right? Don't you think someone like me and you have the right to be in a bad mood once in a while, right? We have the right. We have the right to be a little upset. And if we're talking to someone, maybe, I know you know. That's why I'm talking to you. I know you get it. Maybe because we're going through something, we didn't handle it the right way once in a while, right? Or we didn't say something the right way. But the thing is that people, what I noticed, Jessica, is that they want to cut you off after that. I'm not even kidding you. I'm talking about people, in some cases, I know for 30 years. Okay? In some cases, I know for 30 years. Will say, oh, I don't like what you just said. I don't like how you're speaking, or you're rude or whatever. And I'm blocking you. This is the new thing now in present day. You know what the new thing is in modern society is people say, I'm going to block you. I don't like the way you speak. Like, see, you know what it is? We don't have any more friendly debates anymore. There's no more friendly debates. Like if you're talking to someone and they don't like what you're saying, What's up, Detective Pikachu? If you're arguing with someone, and it could be a friendly argument. Again, I don't want you. This is nothing. We're talking about just a common, like, say, disagreement. Let's say you have a disagreement with somebody, and someone disagrees with you, and you're talking. People don't want to talk about it no more. People just want to block you. That's it. This is the society in the world that we've become. People don't like what you're saying, I'm gonna block you. And I've been seeing this a lot now. I've been saying this a lot. I've been saying this a lot. Well, we'll see. We'll see, Detective Pikachu. There's absolutely no chance of you ever being a moderator. You have a better chance. Listen to me. You have a better chance of a leprechaun bringing you a pot of gold that refills. Like, in other words, you spend all the gold that's in that pot. You have a better chance of that happening than being a moderator. Never gonna happen. So, Detective Pikachu, you have a long road ahead of you with all the hate you've done. Too much hate. But anyway, let's. Detective Pikachu, you're calling me something now. You're forcing me to block you again. You were being nice, but you're forcing me to block you. You're doing it again, Detective Pikachu. No, Brownie. I don't. Look, all right, here's an example, Brownie. Here's an example, Brownie, okay? Detective Pikachu just called me a racist. I'm not a racist, okay? So that is something where if you're going to make a comment that's not true, you're going to get blocked. You understand? If you're going to come here and say something disrespectful, you're going to get blocked. In other words, I'm talking about disrespectful to my family, my wife who passed away, Brownie. I know you probably don't care. Okay, I care. Okay, people have to have respect. Okay, I'm suffering. My children are suffering right now. I don't want to argue. I got to just get rid of you guys. I don't want to argue with you guys here. Okay, so do you agree then, Brownie, that was wrong? Detective Pikachu, I need you to apologize. I'm not a racist. You got to apologize, or you're out of here, man. That's it. It's your choice, brother. You can't be calling people racists. All right, thank you, Brownie. Detective Pikachu, you got to apologize. The reason why you can't be a moderator is because you have to prove. Look, Detective Pikachu, you give me a $5 cash app. Do you know the horrible things you've done to me? Do you know the horrible things? Hold on a second. Do you know the horrible things you've done to me on X with my family? Do you know the horrible things you've said about my family? So do you really believe that giving a $5 cash app, you're completely off the hook for all of that? No, of course not. I'm sorry, man. I appreciate. Whatever. I appreciate the cash app, but Detective Pikachu, you got a long way to go. I mean, you could even last here 1 second without saying something horrible. But you apologize for it, so let it go. Guys, this is what's happening. You know what happens is that when you do all this stuff and you come here and you do this, you distract my head. You distract my head. I'm trying to talk about something serious, and I lose my train of thought. Ugh. Hold on here. Detective Pikachu, obviously, if I make you a moderator, you're gonna like kick everybody who's a good person off. So you're gonna do the opposite. Rather than kick off haters, you're gonna kick off people that are good people. Your first person that you would kick off would be Jessica. I mean, you know it's true. You would try to change. You would try to change this live stream. All right, Detective Pikachu, I got to get rid of you, man. Look, I asked you nicely, and you're not stopping, man. I got to get rid of you. I asked the guy nicely. He won't stop, man. He won't stop. How many times did I ask this guy? I mean, I tell him, stop the hate. Oh my God. People just don't stop the hate, man. No matter how much I kindly, respectfully asked you. I say, just come to the live stream. Let's just get along. Let's be nice. But nah, people don't want to do it, man. Unfortunately, there's just certain people. This is what I'm saying. This is the world that we live in. We live in a world where it's like people see, getting back to what Brownie just said, okay, because I want to talk about this. Brownie, if somebody disagrees with me, I don't boot them off. All right, hey, I'm going to give you a real life. I'm going to give you, yeah, I know the internet is not a friendly place. I get it, but people doesn't make a difference. It's my live stream, and I'm talking about my wife and my mom, and I want people to respect my family. Is that okay with you, water bottle? The boss lady, if that's really you, can we talk about this in private, if you wouldn't mind? Okay, you follow me? Not on a live stream. Thank you, water bottle. Sure, I would consider that, but I'm more or less interested, better male, in doing like original music. I'm not really. That's the problem, is that I'm not really interested in doing covers anymore. I used to do covers my whole life. I just kind of don't want to do it. But why are we talking about this on a live stream for? I don't understand. The boss lady, let's talk about this in private. Live streams are not really for these type of conversations. Anyway, getting back here. Right. Keeping that off the live is appreciative. But since we're talking about that subject, we'll talk about it. Okay. Who here knows that the Apefather is going through a lot of things? Okay. Jessica knows, right? Jessica, me and you are going through a lot of things, and if it's not enough, I know you understand that, Jessica. If it's not enough that we're going through what we're going through, Apefather's going through even more. I don't know if you guys heard what happened in Jersey with the wildfires. It was basically the biggest wildfires that were pretty much the largest in history in Jersey, the wildfires that we had here. And they were all in my hometown. So I never really got a chance to talk to too many people about it, but I'm going to talk about it now. We're going to talk about it now, what happened that day. So at first, I didn't really think, oh, you don't understand how bad it was, Better Male. And I'm going to explain it to you right now. At first, when we went out, I went to Chick-fil-A. I'll never forget it, okay? So we just saw a big smoke. There was like this big, huge smoke that you could see from basically outside of Chick-fil-A. It's like this big, gigantic smoke. But I didn't really think anything of it at first. I figured, okay, they'll put the fire out, because everybody was talking about it. I'm like, nah, I'm not worried about it. They'll put the fire out. No, I live up in Barnegat Township. That's where I live. I'm originally from New York. I grew up and I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, but I live up in Barnegat. That's where I live, Buckshot. So anyway, continuing. A few hours later, the sky turned orange. I've never seen anything like this in my life. The smoke was so bad. No, no problem, brother. No problem, Buckshot. The smoke was so bad, you literally couldn't breathe. It was like, it was just the most scariest experience of our lives. Now, we get in the car, me and the kids, we get the dogs, we get some important things out of the house, things that we need. And we start driving to try to get out of Barnegat. We can't leave. We can't leave. They shut off the Garden State Parkway. It was closed. The main road, which is Route 9, it was gridlock traffic. So we were stuck in traffic for literally, like, just to move, maybe a little drop. We're stuck in traffic for like hours. So in other words, you're forced to breathe in all of that smoke. Now, at that moment, what was I thinking? I'll tell you what I was thinking. How much I missed my wife and my mom. That's what I was thinking. Especially, look, I love my mom. You know I love my mom, but especially my wife. Especially my wife. And it really, really hit me hard. It hit me hard. It really, really hit me hard. I'm like, my God. I'm like, my wife really passed away. Like, I'm just, I know that you probably don't believe this, but I'm still in denial. It's what happened to me and my family was so devastating. I'm still in denial. That my wife passed away and my mom passed away. I just can't accept it. It still feels like this can't be real. It doesn't seem real to me. I feel like I'm in some kind of like a Twilight Zone or something. It's just, I feel like I'm in a Matrix. So, see, normally when I have my wife, and this is what I'm used to in my life, having my wife and my mom. But, my mom was always like, how could I say it? My mom, unfortunately, because she didn't, after her triple bypass, my poor mom, she didn't really walk that much. She didn't. And she preferred to be a homebody. That was just what she preferred. I wanted her to always come out with us, but she preferred that. I was like, Ma, come. Many times I would get her to come out, don't get me wrong, but she preferred ultimately to just watch her TV. She had her feet up, she relaxed. And that was it. We brought her home food and we took care of her. I was like my mom's full-time caretaker. I brought her everything. I took care of her. I helped her, clean herself. I helped her, get dressed. I helped everything. But I tried to get her out a lot, but a lot of times she didn't want to get out. That was the thing. She wanted to relax. That was my mom. What could I do? You can't force people in this world. That's why ultimately she wound up going to the rehab a lot, because I wanted her to get better. She used to watch this show called I think Just Me it was called or something. I have to ask my daughter. She remembers it. I can't remember this. I have to look it up. I have to. It's on Netflix. But she used to watch this so much. She loved that show. It's Just Me or something of that nature. But anyway, that's why I tried to help my mom, because I saw she wasn't getting better on her own. I said, Ma, we got to get you to rehab. And she went to rehab a ton of times, let me tell you. And I used to tell her, I used to get on her. Ma, you can't go to rehab. You can't think it's like a club bed. You got to get better. You got to walk. You got to push yourself. You got to get up. Because this is stuff I can't do on my own. I need the doctors. I need professional physical therapists to help me. So she was always in rehab, my mom. But unfortunately, I think that's what led to her passing away, because she had that pulmonary embolism that she developed because she didn't really walk that much. It's terrible. And I love her and I miss her. And I'm very sad. But the positives, hey, my mom did a wonderful job raising me. I'm 47. I had her in my life, my whole life. She saw her grandchildren grow up. That was her dream. Her dream, she used to always tell me and Jennifer, she said, get started. I want grandkids. I want grandkids in my life. And she saw the grandkids grow up. They all were very, very close. They were everything to my mom, her grandkids. So I have peace in my heart with my mom. I have peace in my heart with my mother, that she saw her grandkids grow up, But unfortunately, with my wife, I don't have peace in my heart. I have no peace in my heart. She was only 46 years old, and the whole thing was just terrible, what happened to my poor wife. It was like we were all robbed. She was robbed. I was robbed. I still don't even understand what happened. I don't. She was okay. Yes, she had cancer, but she was okay. It's like aspiration pneumonia came out of nowhere. Oh, I see. Let me get rid of the Just Jessica, the fake one. So the boss lady, are you still a moderator here? I don't even know if she's still. Let me see. Are you still the moderator? I made you the moderator. You're still the moderator? I'm just curious because I noticed that you didn't take down the fake Jessica. That's the only reason why I'm asking. Are you still doing it or you're not doing it? Are you even still here? I don't know. Well, anyway, I did it, Jessica. So that's just a point right there, Jessica, that, some people, I don't know, you would think that people would understand everything I'm going through. Yeah, I'll make you the moderator, Jessica, I don't even think the boss lady is doing it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if she's still doing it. I'm not even sure if she's still even here. But I don't know. What are you gonna do? I don't understand why people can't understand. Like, it's crazy how people don't understand certain times. Like, you're just going through a lot. I don't understand how people don't seem to understand that in this world. They don't get it. And when you're going through a lot. No, look, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it, better male. But let's just say I'm just gonna leave it at this. Sometimes people don't understand you're going through a lot. That's it. I'm not going to get into anything else. You're going through a lot of stuff in your life. And because you're going through a lot of stuff in your life, sometimes you may not handle things, you understand? Right. You may not handle things the best way that could have been handled because you're going through a lot and you're dealing with too much. And that's what's happening to me. But anyway, getting back, once again, better mail. I never got that email from you. I still don't know if you were the guy who did that Cash App. I don't know, man. You never got back to me. But anyway, if anybody would like to do a Cash App, this is my Cash App right here. It is the $ Richard Lavoy, the $ RICHARD, capital LEVOI, no space, no underscore in between my first and last name. It's also in the chat here. If you go to the chat, you'll see Jessica, just Jessica and CS. Just, click on that comment and you'll see it. The comment is pinned in the chat. We really could use your help to get back on our feet here. And like I said, we've lost a lot here. My kids lost their mom, their grandma. I lost my wife, my mother. I mean, it's a lot, and we lost our household income. You'd be surprised if enough people just did a very small Cash App, we could get back on our feet. Like I said, this is not just for me. This is for, people don't understand. This is for my children. And if you're animal lovers, it's for my dogs. I have 2 dogs. Look, you want me to tell you the truth? You want me all to level with you? I'm not doing well. And that's what I think a lot of people, unfortunately, don't understand. The people who I thought understood it, I'm not going to get into who they are, but the people I thought understood it apparently don't understand it. They don't understand that I'm going through a lot. But the people who I thought, Jessica, I know you understand it, Jessica, but the people who I thought understood it don't understand it, apparently. They don't get it. And I'm a little shocked by it, to be honest with you. I'm a little shocked. What are you going to do? I'm shocked. This crazy world that we live in. It's like you could treat someone great for like 10 years straight. You could treat someone great, right? You have one episode, you have one bad moment where, let's say, you're stressed out and you're dealing with too much. You have one bad moment, and then that person's like, well, I don't want to talk to you no more. You understand it, Jessica. I know you do. And that's what's happening a lot in my life. What's happening a lot in my life is that, and these, again, I want to reiterate, these are people who I really, really believed were going to be very close to me and my kids. It's like, you're talking about one incident. You're talking about one time that, like, I maybe went off the handle a little bit because I'm under a lot of stress. I'm under a lot of stress. And it's these people who are like, okay, that's it. I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't want to support you no more. I want nothing to do with you. It's crazy, right? Like, could you imagine being so good to somebody? Could you imagine that? And having this wonderful relationship with somebody? I know you're here, Jessica, all the time. I love you. But I'm saying, Jessica, can you imagine, like, having a really, really close relationship with someone? I'm talking like where this person, you consider them like a sister. You understand? And you have just one moment where, I don't know, there's wildfires in your town. You can't breathe right. For 2 hours, you're trapped in this smoke. You think your house is going to burn down. This is all after the fact that you lost your most important people in your life, your wife, your mom. You're dealing with crazy people out there, no support system, mean people, crazy people. So you rely on certain people to be like truly a support system. You rely on them because you say, okay, these people understand. But let's just say, because you're having a tough day, you fly off the handle a little bit. Okay, don't you think that they should understand? Don't you think they should give you the benefit of the doubt? Don't you think they should say, look, Rich, considering everything you're going through, considering everything that's happening in your life, I'm going to give you a pass. And you apologize. This is the best part, Jessica. You apologize to these people for temporarily losing it. Like, temporarily lose. You apologize. You say, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lose it. I didn't mean. I'm sorry. I'm just dealing with too much. And still, even apologizing, it's not enough. But even, Jessica, even apologizing. And these people want to come across, you want to know something, Jessica? These people want to come across like they're close to you. They're close to your children. They're like, oh, I'm very close to you. I'm close to your kids. No, you're not close to me. Look, if you could shut me off, right? If you could shut me off and shut my family off because of one comment, then you were never close to us. Then you were never, ever close to us. Never. And that's the bottom line. Right. So you can't play. You see, people want to play this game. They want to play this game like, oh, you ruined it. No, I didn't ruin nothing. You got to learn in life that sometimes people, when they're under immense stress, right? See, like, here's an example. I could understand if this happened. I could understand if, let's say, someone flew off the deep end, right? But there was no justifiable reason for it. Like someone just for no reason, got upset. When a person loses their wife, they lose their mom. They lost their monthly income. They thought their house was going to burn down. They're dealing with family members that are not there for them. I'm not saying all family members. I'm saying certain ones. I'll just leave it at that. They're dealing with all kinds of crazy stuff. Then you think that these people would say, I get it. I understand. Don't worry about it. But no. And I've been seeing this a lot, Jessica. I've been seeing this. This is not just something I'm seeing once in a while. This is something I am seeing a lot. So what is it? You're supposed to be like, so let's talk about this. What are you supposed to be on your best behavior when you're going through the hardest times in your life? You know what I mean? You're supposed to be on your best behavior. Is that the way it works? That's not the way life. Look, people don't understand. There's supposed to be a support system for you. Here's the key. They're supposed to be a support system for you. Hey, brah. Stay positive, G. This I don't even know how to answer that, but okay. First of all, brah. What you try to say, brother? You can't stay positive, man, when you lost your wife, your mom, you lost your monthly household income, and your house almost burned down because of the biggest fire in the history of New Jersey. It's kind of hard to stay positive, but okay. No disrespect. Oh, I tell you. All right, so let's get rid of this guy here. Let's get rid of this guy. What are you gonna do? So, hey, what's up, Janice? Janice, here's an example. I wanted to even apologize yesterday. Who was it? That girl, Jackie from Brooklyn. Look, I'm having a really tough time. Can we start by, I want everyone to understand something. Before I continue, I want everyone to understand. I am having an extremely tough time. I'm not doing well with the fact that my wife passed away and my mom passed away. I am an emotional wreck. I'm a wreck. I also lost my household income here because I was my wife's full-time caretaker. I was my mom's caretaker. I lost a household income of $7,000 a month. Look, I love my wife more than anything in this world. Let's start with my wife. I love my mother too with all my heart and soul. My wife was my partner in my life. She's everything. I hear my ears ringing all the time. I think that's my wife. Thank you, Janice. So here's what happened yesterday, just really quick with Jackie, okay? Look, I ask people for help. I do. I ask people for support. But understand, just because I'm asking people for support, you're obviously not obligated to give support. It's something I'm asking for. You could say, yay. You could say nay. Okay? But here's where I have a problem. I'll tell you where I have a problem. I just don't like it when people have to take it to the next level. I don't like it when people. So what is taking it to the next level? People are trying to justify a reason why they can't do something. You don't have to justify it. Look, that's it. You can't do it. You can't do it. It's fine. It's okay. You know what I mean? Just enjoy the live chat. But people want to justify, and I don't even know why. And then they take it to new levels where they want you to understand. This is the thing. They want you to now understand the reasons they can't support you. They want you to understand it. You follow me? So someone will say, Apefather, people are going through tough times right now. I know people are going through tough times because I wrote a song called Everybody's Got Problems. I understand people are going through. Let me show you that song really quick, and then we'll continue this conversation. Just a little part of it. Hold on one second. I know everybody in this world's going through tough times. When your love ends before your eyes, everybody's got problems. Losing your job, kissing it goodbye. Everybody's got problems. You can't hide. Everybody's got problems you can't hide. So, thank you, Janice. I understand. Thank you so much. Thank you, Janice. I understand that everybody's got problems. I wrote a song. But what does that mean? That everybody's got problems. I can't ask somebody for help. I can't say, I'm going through a tough time. My family's going through a tough time. We lost my wife. We lost my mom. We lost our monthly income. I mean, right? Don't I still have the right to reach out to people and reach out to their good hearts? I do, right? So the way I look at it is, if you can't do it, you can't do it. I respect it. I'm not going to, look, I'm not pressuring anybody. I'm not going to get mad at anybody. If someone's like, Rich, unfortunately, I can't do it, I say, it's no problem. No, but you know what it is? You might be right, Janice, and I might have took it the wrong way, but I see a lot of people do this. Like, I might have took it the wrong way with Jackie, but I see a lot of people do this to me. They come on the live streams and they try to, like, thank you, Janice. They try to, like, change things, the direction of the live streams. Like in other words, the way I took it from Jackie was, she was like, look, everyone out there is going through hard times. Now, that may be true. That may be true, and she may have a valid point. But so what am I supposed to do? Like, what is the end goal? What is the end goal? Is the end goal for me now to stop asking people to have a heart about what my family is going through? Like, I'm just trying to, do you see what I'm saying? What's the end goal? So let's say I acknowledge Jackie from Brooklyn's point. But do you see what I'm saying, Janice? So that's why what I feel is, it's like this. People just need to keep it simple. I'm doing a lot. It's like, look, example. If you go to a charity event, right? Let's call it an animal benefit concert. Okay. Let's say it's a free concert. Thank you, Janice. Let's say it's a free concert. I'm just going to give you an example. It's optional. You have the right to make a contribution. It's an optional thing. So let's say you go to this free concert and you're enjoying the music and you say, the music sounds great. I'm having a great time. But let's just say you're not able to make any contribution. Don't you think it's more better, like Janice, like, I don't know what your opinion is, but to just keep it to yourself? Like, see, in other words, that's what I would do. I guess we're all different in this world. I guess all of us are different people. Can I tell you what I would do if I was at a free concert and I was not able to make a contribution? Okay. I wouldn't like vocalize it. I would just keep it to myself. I would enjoy the music. I would have a wonderful time with me and the family, and that's it. But I'm not going to go up, right, on the loudspeaker, or let's, I'm not going to go up and say, I just want to explain to everybody that I can't make a contribution because I'm going through a very tough time. You know what? Right. The whole world's going through a tough time. Everyone's struggling. I wouldn't do that. Because so now let me ask you this, Janice. Once I make that comment, what's the animal benefit concert? Like, you see what I'm trying to say? What are they supposed to do now? Are they supposed to cancel the event, the animal benefit concert? Are they supposed to say, listen, after the comment that we just heard from, Apefather, that the whole world is struggling, right, thank you, Janice. We're going to cancel this event. Exactly. So that was it. Okay, I'll drop it now. That was the only problem I had with Jackie. Okay, but God bless her. I told her, I said, God bless you. God bless your family. Okay, that's it. I'm going to drop. That subject's dropped. I'm having a very difficult time. Believe me. My wife, my God. Oh, my God. When my wife passed away, my life ended. My life ended. Hold on. It's crazy what happened to me and my family. I can't even believe that this is real. I can't believe that my wife passed away. I can't believe that a couple of weeks later my mom passed away. I can't believe this is. I'm not in acceptance, Janice. For 27 years of my life, I have had my wife with me, Janice. She was the best person, Janice. And thank you for your kind words. She was the best person. I was a very devoted husband to her. For 27 years, Janice. No, but you don't understand, Janice, she was always here. And she was always okay. It wasn't like that she was like sickly, Janice. Like she wasn't. Like it wasn't that she looked like someone that was passing away from cancer, Janice. This all happened very suddenly. This happened very suddenly, and I'm in shock. My heart is broken. It's hard for me to breathe. It's hard for me to function. And this is even more the reason why I don't understand why people don't understand certain things. Like you would think that people would, especially people who want to come across like they really care about you. You know, they want to come across like they care about your family. They want to come across like they care about your children. And you know, look. I'm not going to mention names, but I had a conversation with somebody recently. Okay, who I'm not going to mention names. Who, let's just say, was a person who came across like a person who really, really cared about me and my family. I love you, Jessica. I love you, Jessica. Have a wonderful day. And we had a conversation. The conversation took, unfortunately, a little spin-off where we had a little disagreement. And unfortunately, I kind of, raised my voice a little bit. Nothing bad. I didn't curse. There was no cursing. I just raised my voice a little bit because I'm going through a lot. I am going through a lot. And now this is a person who, now I know, listen, Janice, believe me, I've, just to change the subject to back to what you're saying, I understand that. I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and there are cases where people, look, well, you want to know what happened is that this aspiration pneumonia had nothing to do with cancer, Janice. That's what it is. You want to hear what it is? What it is that it could have been caused from the cancer, but it had nothing to do with the cancer because it could have been the cancer in the brain was making it hard for my wife to swallow and chew food, which ultimately led to her having the aspiration pneumonia. But the thing is that it didn't have to do with the cancer, technically. Yeah, but the thing is that's why you really weren't seeing, she wasn't looking ill. She wasn't looking ill. And for the longest, like I said, it was January 7th. It was my daughter's birthday. And my wife was there at her daughter's birthday singing to her. And she was fine. And just a few days later, she got this aspiration pneumonia. And I'm just in shock. I can't, look, you have to understand, Janice, I'm not meant to be a single dad. Listen, you have to try to understand, Janice. Look, I understand that you're looking at things in a very beautiful, positive way because you are a beautiful, positive woman, okay? But unfortunately, there's really nothing beautiful and positive about the end result here. We're suffering now. We are all suffering. Yes, I'm glad that she had the opportunity to spend her birthday with her mom, but it's just, what can I say, Janice? Janice, you have to understand something. How can I say this to you? How can I say this to you? This is more than just getting dealt a hard deck of cards, okay? This is too much, Janice. I got hit too hard here, Janice. Listen to me. Janice, I got hit too hard. I don't think any human being could deal with what I'm dealing with right now. It's not just the fact that you lose a loved one. It was a whole lifestyle. It would take too long for me to explain it. It would take too long for me to explain it. When my wife got cancer, it's more than a lot at once. Okay, let me try to explain it to you, Janice. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to explain to you what I'm going through. My wife and I decided that I was going to become her full-time caretaker because she needed me at home to take care of her and take care of the kids, which is what I've done. And it's fine, but I was able to do that because you know why I was able to do that, Janice? My wife gave me this emotional love, this emotional support. Like, in other words, it's all I needed. Janice, listen to me. All I needed in this world was the love that my wife gave to me, the emotion that my wife gave to me. It was my life force, Janice. It was my life force. Okay. So I was able to take on the world, Janice. I was able to take on any stressful situation. I was able to take on anything. Why? Because of my wife's love and emotional support that she gave to me, Janice. Now, losing that, Janice, losing the emotion and the love that my wife gave to me, it's like losing air. It's like losing oxygen for me. It's like losing everything. You understand? Can't breathe, Janice. I cannot breathe. So I just want everyone to understand that. Now, my wife passes away. 2 weeks later, my mom passes away. Okay. My mom has always been there for me. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Greg. My mom has always been my best friend, always. And when my wife passed away first, my mom was in a rehab. She was coming out of the rehab. So I was really hoping my mom was going to be there for me. You know, I was praying that my mom was going to come home and be there for me. But what I didn't anticipate, Janice and Greg, is that when my mom came home, her health was, she was really, really in bad shape. And I'm even shocked that the rehab even let her out. I couldn't believe it. She was in very bad shape. She had to be on oxygen 24 hours a day. She couldn't move. Like, see, now my mom has always been really, not really the most mobile person, but I'm talking about now. Yeah, it's terrible what they did, Janice. Because it's insurance issues that she ran out of time, you know, like it's like a 100-day stay. That's it. And after that, no, they are supposed to do that, but after a certain period of time, because they don't get paid anymore, they just let them out. That's it. It's like you run out of time that you could stay there. I'm looking into all of this, Janice, believe me, on a legal level, but not doing well, Joe Dirt. You know. So anyway, my mother came home, and within just a few days, she passes away. I'm going to. Again, I want all of you to understand that it's not that easy. A lot of lawyers are turning this down. I spoke to a few lawyers. So far, they're all turning it down. It's not even about money with me, Janice. I lost my wife, you know. I lost my wife. I lost my mom. Even if I got money, my life is never going to be the same again. My life is pretty much finished, Janice. It's gone. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm scared. I'm really, really scared. This was too hard for me. Look, God, this is what I have to say. I have to say God. I have to say God. Because don't tell me that God has no idea what's going on here. You can't tell me this. I just feel like God should have had mercy a little bit. No, I know, Janice, I know, but it's not that easy. So far, all these lawyers are saying no because it's crazy. It's like these doctors and these rehabs, they have like a ticket to ride, Janice. They have a ticket to ride. It's terrible. They could do whatever they want to do. You know, you would have to prove that it was neglect. And, you know, they could be like, you know, they could just say that, well, we didn't know she had a pulmonary embolism, they could say. You know, we did everything on our part, you know. That was something she needed to get checked out on her own. I'll try it. I'm going to try it, you know. But again, I don't even care about the money. I care about my mother. I care about my wife. But anyway, we'll put that aside for now. I'll let everybody know what happens with that. But so far, lawyers have said no. I was hoping my mom was going to be there for me. I was hoping she was going to help me. I needed her more than anything else in this world. I needed her. And unfortunately, she couldn't. She couldn't help me. She was in too, unfortunately, bad of shape with her health. So, yes, Greg, they rush us the medical system. You're right. So ultimately, I have no one in my life now in terms of a support system. I'm just trying to run through this whole thing I'm going through so that you could get a full picture. My whole entire support system was my wife and my mom. That's it. There's really no family. Everyone out there. It's a long story. My mom and my dad had a very bad marriage. They was fighting in the household for years. Unfortunately, that rubbed off in a very negative way with my mother's family. My mother's family did not get along with my father. My father passed away also in 2020. And unfortunately, that kind of rubbed off on me, even though I did nothing wrong. My wife's family, they're a bunch of like psychos. I don't know what's wrong with them, but it's crazy. I just don't know. It's crazy. Not one of them even called me and gave their condolences. Can you believe this? In my wife's whole family. I don't understand. I don't know what's wrong with these people. It's crazy. What's up, Damien? I don't want to get into that, but let's just leave it at that. So I don't really have a support system here. My support system was my wife. My support system was my mom. That's my support system. That's my support system. You know, I wish, listen, things were different. I wish that I had I'm trying to fix everything. Listen, I'm trying to fix it. Okay, let's just leave it at that. I'm trying. My cousins reach out to me once in a while. They're being nice. They are. But look, at the end of the day, everybody's got their own lives. That's the problem. Is everybody? Look, I can't say there are people. I can't say not everyone's mean. There are people that are trying, but it's just that everybody's got their own lives. Let's leave it at that. Okay, everybody's got their own lives. But I'm trying to fix everything up with so many things in my life. I'm really, really trying. I'm trying to make peace. That's what I'm trying to do. No, Greg, it's not that I don't get, listen, it's not that I don't get like, it's not that I don't get support. Listen, it's a long story, man. It's just the way the cookies crumbled in my life became a disaster. The way the cookies crumbled. That's all. It's too long of a story, man. For me to get into this, it'll take forever. Look, I'll try to just give you a very short story. My parents did not get along. They had a bad marriage. They had a tough marriage. It's a sad situation. I wish it wasn't the case. There was a lot of fighting. And I look, my father was a good guy when he wanted to be. He really was. He had like a bipolar thing. God bless him. He could be the greatest guy in the world when he wanted to be. He was a hard worker. He worked two jobs, the fire department, the real estate. He was a great provider to the family. And he was a good man when he wanted to be. But when he switched, my mother used to call him Jekyll the Dr. Hyde. When he switched, that was it. And I spent my whole life protecting my mom. That was it, since I was a little kid. Since I was a little kid, I protected her. I always protected her. And my mother winded up living with me and my wife since we first got married. We got married in 2005. My mom has been living with us ever since. And I've been protecting her, and unfortunately, I did nothing wrong in my life to really have anybody be upset at me. Matter of fact, I think people should actually give me credit that I came out of this tough childhood. I came out of a tough childhood and I took care of my mom and stuff. I was always there for her. It should be the opposite thing. People should actually give me credit. People should say, job well done. that you came out of this and you were always there for your mom. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's the case, but that's the way it should be. But anyway, I don't want to really get into that. Let's just say that me, my wife, and my mom were all we needed. Can we just leave it at that? We were each other's support system. We were each other's support system, and we loved each other, and all we needed was each other. All we needed was each other. All I needed was my wife, my mom, our kids, our dogs. That was our family. That was it. We were good to go. Now, that doesn't mean, listen, my mother's family loved my mother. Oh, they were so tight. They were so close. And they stood in contact. And, from time to time, I was getting my kids closer to them as well. They went to a family party recently and it went very well. This was when my mom was alive. And, I'm not going to say that we had no support system, but it's just that it's a long story. It really stems back from my childhood of the fighting that unfortunately went on between my father and my mother, which had nothing to do with me, unfortunately. And it just unfortunately rubbed off the wrong way with my mom's family, unfortunately. And it's an unfortunate thing. They're good people, it's just, what are you going to do? I'm asking them, to have an open heart and an open mind now and be there for us for the sake of, my two children, me and my wife's children. I just can't believe this is even real. Look, it's, it is, Greg. Can you imagine you have this beautiful situation, Greg? I had the greatest wife in the world. I had the greatest wife in the world, Greg. I had the greatest mother in the world. We were happy, man. We were a happy family. And all of this has to happen. Like my wife has to pass away. My mother has to pass away. That's why I get angry at God. They say God only gives you what you can handle. He gave me too much. He gave me too much. This is too much for any human being to handle. Then I lost our entire monthly budget that we had, our household income. I mean, it's like an avalanche here, man. It was like, this is like I feel like I got hit by I don't know, an avalanche, the meteor that hit the dinosaurs. Was the asteroid that hit the dinosaurs? That's what happened to me and my family. We got hit too hard. My wife passes away. My mom passes away. We lose our entire income because, once again, I was my wife's caretaker, my mother's caretaker. We lost a household income of around $7,000 a month. I'm trying to show you, Jonas, what I'm going through. Then, after all of that said and done, our house almost burns down. It's crazy, right? With these wildfires, the largest wildfires in New Jersey, I was crying out to my wife. I needed her. I needed my wife's love and support so much that day. You have no idea how much I needed my wife's love and support that day. I needed it so much. I needed it so much. But it's just a lot. And that's why I'm asking people to try to find it in their heart to help us out. Thank you, Billy Bats. This is my Cash App right here. Sorry about that. It's the $ Richard Lavoie. $ capital RICHARD LEVOI. And it's also in this comment. You see in the chat. If you go down, you'll see the Just Jessica at CS comment. That comment is pinned. If you click on if you look at the bottom of this page in the chat, if you look at Just Jessica at CS, you'll see the Cash App. $ Richard Lavoie. No space, no underscore in between my first and last name. It's also, like I said, the comment is pinned. If anybody would have a good heart, do something small for us. I'll do a nice shout out video. I'll play the piano for you. And down the line, Apefather is going to have meet and greet events down the line. Anybody who does these cash apps, if you consider it once a month, maybe something small. I call it the Apefather support group, just to help me and my family to get back on our feet. I have two children, Michael, who's 14, Sophia, who's 11. It would mean the world to us. It would mean the world to us if you would consider it. We're going through an extremely tough time. I mean, the worst ever. I take that back. I hate saying that word. Just saying it's extremely tough time. I just don't like that word. I just can't, guys. Greg, at 23, I broke my back at work. The only real love was from your parents at the time. I got so mad I had to leave. Haven't seen my family in years. Just lived with one cousin I've only met once. You know, Greg, how can I say this to you, man? What you went through was terrible. Okay? God bless you, Greg. At least you had your parents. Listen, what you went through was terrible. My heart goes out to you. I don't have my parents, man. You know, I'm going through all of this alone. I'm going through all of this alone, Craig. I don't have my father passed away. Listen, he was still my father. Okay, regardless of anything, he was my father, and I loved him. My father passed away in 2020. My mom passed away this year. I don't have my parents. My wife, who was the love of my life, passed away. She was my soulmate, my everything, my whole world. She passed away. It's like I feel like I got nothing, man. I'm trying to deal with this situation here alone. You know, and then it's like you finally make a friend. I'm not going to mention names, but you make a friend online. Who turned out to be someone that I really thought cared about me and my kids. We got very close. We got very, very close. And we just had a little falling out because of a disagreement. We had a little falling out, and it seems like now, I don't know, they're just reacting in such a negative way. It's terrible. It's terrible. Hold on one second. I wrote a song. I'll show you a little bit about my childhood here. This is a song called Middle of the Night. I just wanted to pack my bags when I was a kid, you know? I wanted to get out of there. Don't let one disagreement ruin your relationship. I wish that the person would understand that, Janice. But yes, this is called Middle of the Night. This is about my childhood. 2, 3, 4. Late at night, full of doubt, thinking about how much I want out of this place. It never changes. It's my home, feeling like I am a stranger. Packed my bags and drove away in the middle of the night. Destination is unknown, but I'm better off alone. Tomorrow they'll try to make you come back home. Now I finally seen the light. Don't wanna run away in the middle of the night. Don't get me involved. Your life's a puzzle that I know I can't solve. You choose your misery. Always blame me for your problems constantly. Packed my bags and drove away in the middle of the night. Destination is unknown, but I'm better off alone. Tomorrow they'll try to make you come back home. Now I find I see the light. Don't wanna run away in the middle of the night. The middle of the night. That's an original song called Middle of the Night. Once again, anybody who would like to do a small cash app to help our family going through an extremely tough time right now is the $ Richard Lavoie. $ capital RICHARD capital LEVOI. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Janice. Like I said, if this is kind of hard to read, you could see the comment is pinned in this chat. Go to the bottom of the chat. You'll see the Just Jessica and CS. Click on that. You'll see the Cash App. It's the $ Richard Lavoie. No cash. Excuse me. I was about to say, no amount is too little. Anything that you'd like to do at this point is greatly appreciated. You know what it is that I hate having to feel like afraid of how to speak to someone. You know, if someone really cares about you, they should just let you be yourself. That's how it was with my beautiful wife. My wife loved me for me, and I loved her for her. You know what I mean? Me and my wife loved each other. Me and my mom loved each other. It was like, look, there were times we had little disagreements. That happens. But our love was so strong for each other. Our love was so powerful. We would never let a stupid disagreement ever get in the way of our love, you know? But, you know, I don't know. You don't see that too often anymore. I just feel like, look, I'm in a tough situation, guys. I'm in a tough one here. I know, but Janice, I'm even saying this from other family. I'm saying family is family. But look, you want to know what it is, Janice? I don't even think that that's a true statement. She's going to get mad at me, Janice. I just think it's the person. It's the individual person. You might have a friend in your life. Listen to me, Janice. You might have a friend in your life who's better to you than family. And they're a friend. It's just that this particular friend really loves you, really appreciates you, and prioritizes you. I've spoken to many people, and they don't get along with family. Sometimes, you know, like my wife and her brother didn't get along. I don't know why. We always treated her brother like a king, you know, but, you know, what are you going to do? It is what it is with him, you know. Sometimes family, just because it's family, doesn't necessarily mean they always get along. It's about being a priority. That's it. It's about my wife. I was her priority. And she was my priority. And my mom, I was her priority, and I was her priority, and she was my priority. And that's it. And if you have a relationship like that, that's true. That's unconditional love. That's unconditional love. And that's what I've had my whole life, Janice. I've had that my whole life. You understand? For the first time in the history of my life, I feel like I don't have that no more. I mean, my kids love me, and I love them. But it's just... That's right. You know, you can meet somebody in 5 minutes and then all of a sudden they're doing more for someone you know for 50 years. It's like your whole life. I'm 47, but the thing is that, let me just close this door. My kids need me, and I got to be there for them, and I'm trying, and I am. Janice, I'm there for my kids. Every single day of my life, I'm there for them, but my heart is broken, and it's like, my God, I can't, look, I know you always say you need therapy. I know, I definitely need help. I just can't accept what happened to my beautiful wife, Jennifer. My mom, I could accept it more. I could accept it more. She wasn't walking. See, in my mind, I didn't see my mom walk in like 8 years. So I didn't see my mom walk in 8 years. This whole thing just seems more like understandable what happened to my mom. You know, she saw the grandkids grow up. She was 75, still young, She could have lived longer, my poor mother. She could have lived. She would have got the right help. She could have lived longer. I just, heartbreaking. But she was still 75, and she still saw her grandkids grow up. But my wife was too young. My wife was too young, 46 years old. And I'm battling too many things right now. That's the problem, is that I'm battling a lot of things. I'm battling a lot of things. And I got to be there for the kids. Yeah, I mean, my wife was 46. That's too young, Janice. It just shouldn't have happened. I feel like the whole thing was just a big mistake. I just can't. My kids seem to understand it better than me, you know? They see, maybe it's because I'm in denial. Maybe that's what it is. I'm in denial. Her daughter needs her mom, and so does our son. Why do you think I'm angry at God for? I wrote a song like prior to this. I was the biggest, you know, believer, and I cherish God. I pray to God. I wrote a song, God is on our side. This is a song I wrote before my wife and mom passed away. Don't you know that God is on our side? The Apefather feels it deep inside. He wants us to win. New lives we begin. Don't you know that God is on our side? And it's going to be a wild ride. He wants us to win. New lives we begin. You got to believe deep inside your heart. God is watching over us from the start. Never part our side. And in this dark tunnel there is a light that God shines so bright for you and me. Can't you see? Don't you know that God is on our side? The Apefather feels it deep inside. He wants us to win. New lives we begin. Don't you know that God is on our side? And it's going to be a wild ride. He wants us to win. New lives we begin. I always believed that God wanted us to win and, have a wonderful life. And I don't know what to think anymore. I keep hearing about the book of Job, where God, I guess, told the devil, he said, look, tell the devil, go ahead, take away his family, Job's family, take away all his money, and see if he's still going to be devoted to me. And Job, even though he lost his family, he lost all his money, he was still devoted to God. And God, gave him a very long life, gave him his money back. But I don't know if he got his family back. That I don't know. I have to read the rest of it, but I don't know about that. But I don't think so. But it's too much what God did here. This is too much. I have to say God. I have to say God. God could have been merciful. He should have been merciful. I don't care about money, Greg. Listen, people say the only reason I ask for money, again, listen, can I tell you what it is? What happened to me was not my fault. Can we all be clear? I never asked for anything before. I was the one who gave to people. I was the one who gave to people. If you watch the Apefather back in 2021, 2022, I was giving out money to everybody. Okay, people would come to me and say, Apefather, I haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm like, here's $200. Here's $250. Apefather, my car broke down. Here's $300. All with CashApp. I made videos on it. I showed people. I sent all this money out. Apefather, I'm living in my car. I need to get a hotel room. Here's $300. There was this guy, C. Diddy, No affiliation. Thank you, Janice. With P Diddy. He called himself C Diddy. His house burned down. His wife had a baby on the way. He said my mom passed away. I sent the guy $500. So that's the thing. I never ask people for money. So why am I doing it now? What happened to me was catastrophic. What happened to me was tragedy in my family, and this was unexpected. We never thought in a million years that my wife would pass away, my mother would pass away in 2 weeks. Okay? We never thought that we would lose our entire household income. This is not our fault. And we never realized that we would have no support system. We didn't realize any of this. This hit us out of the blue. Like that song, the album by Debbie Gibson, remember that, Out of the Blue? Yeah. Debbie Gibson, on my father's side, his cousin, she was married to the principal of the school, and when they got divorced, it's a long story, but he was the principal of the high school in Long Island that Debbie Gibson went to. So when I was a kid, I met her a few times. But anyway, long story short, this all hit us out of the blue. And that's why we're kindly, respectfully asking for people to have a good heart here. Help us out. That's the Cash App right there. It's the $ Richard Lavoie. The comment is also pinned. If you look in this chat at the Just Jessica and CS, in this chat, go to the bottom of the page, click on the comment, Just Jessica, that's pinned. Just Jessica and CS, and you'll see my Cash App. It's the $ Richard Lavoie. capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI, no space, no underscore in between my first and my last name. Thank you again, Janice. So what's happening with me right now is that I am extremely depressed. I'll tell you the truth. I can't accept what happened to my wife. My mom, look, I'm sad. I am very sad. I love my mother with all my heart and my soul. I love my mom. It makes a little bit more sense to me what happened to my mom. It does. I'm not going to lie to you. I watched her for 8 years, unfortunately, after her triple bypass, and I watched her kind of not get up and kind of not have a zest for life. This was not the case with my wife. My wife had a zest for life, Greg, it's just, how can I say this to you, brother? How can I say this to you, man? Look, my wife and me were partners. We're partners. We're partners. And we set out in this life together with a goal and a mission to start a family, which we did, to raise our children, which we did, to get a beautiful home for our kids, which we did, and to just give our children and ourselves a beautiful life, which we did. But it ended too early for her, and I wasn't ready for this. And like I said, it was just too many other things hit too. It's like, look, hey, Jackie from Brooklyn, we were talking about you before. Jackie, no hard feelings about the other day, all right? I apologize to you. I'm just going through a lot of stuff, Jackie. Forgive me. God bless you and your family, Jackie. No hard feelings, I was just telling people I'm going through an extremely tough time, Jackie. I hope you can understand that. I'm asking people for help. If people can't help, obviously there's no obligation for people to help, but I'm really, really going through a tough time, No disrespect intended. Welcome back to the live stream. So, yeah, no, I mean, Janice, I'm a good guy. I'm really not a bad person. It's just sometimes, whatever. We all get a little upset. We get over it. That's life, right? But what's happening to me right now, I can't get over it. Just do a little tribute song to my wife and my mom. This is Josephine for my mom. I wrote this, a little quick version of these 2 original songs I wrote. Josephine, you were there to guide mistakes I made. You showed me the way to make it all brand new. Josephine, you were there to guide me. You were there beside me. I can count on you. Josephine, you're the inspiration, and you are my best friend, now until the end. You always believed that I can achieve everything that I dreamed, until that day. Ignore what they say, follow your destiny. Josephine, you were there to guide me. You were there beside me. I can count on you. Thank you. It's kind of a crazy name you have, but thank you. Hello. Struggling here. What's up? Oh, okay, 1 second. Anyone be kind enough to consider a entertainment tip on the Cash App? You'll see that the comment that is pinned below on this chat, just Jessica and CS. The $ Richard Lavoie, that is my Cash App. Anyone that's cool enough to do that, I'll actually dedicate a video to you. I do a video, it's called the Thank You Song video. I play a song for you. Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate if you guys, listen, even if you guys did something small, you know, $10, anything. You know, we could use the support. You know, just think of it just like you're tipping a piano player. You know, you're in a piano bar jar. You know, got the piano bar jar. You know what I mean? Thank you. You know what I mean? You're in a piano bar. The piano player plays a nice song, right? No big deal to give him $5, right? No big deal to give him $10. And you're also helping out my children here. Like I said, we lost a lot. We lost my wife, my mom this year, all in the vicinity of two weeks. Once again, that's the Cash App right there. It's the Richard Lavoie, $ Richard Lavoie. That is my Cash App. $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. No space, no underscore in between my first and my last name. Like I said, if you go to the bottom of this chat, you'll see that comment. Just Jessica and CS. You'll see the Cash App right there. You know, the comment is pinned. If you click on that comment, you'll see the $ Richard Lavoie, $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. I wrote a song for my wife, Jennifer. I'll do a little bit of that one. I'll first do it instrumental. There was something about you that was meant for me, and I knew I loved Jennifer. That's the song Jennifer for my beautiful wife. Like I said, anybody out there that would consider doing a small cash app, an entertainment tip, I would really greatly appreciate it. Help my family out big time. We're going through a lot right now. Financial problems, emotional problems that we're just so sad over the loss of my wife, the children's mother, the children's grandmother, my mother passed away in 2 weeks of each other. That is the Cash App, $ Richard Lavoie. What's up, Back to the Future? $ capital RICHARD, capital LEV as in Victor OI. Like I said, comment Jessica, just Jessica and CS is below. That's on the chat. You could get the Cash App right from there. If you click on the comment that's pinned, you'll see it at the bottom of this chat. It's the comment is just Jessica and CS. The comment is pinned. Click on that and you'll see the Cash App. It's the $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. Excuse me. For some reason, God wanted me to live in misery. Again, I'm sorry. Thank you, Greg. God bless you for your good comments. Thank you, Dream Ride Music. Thank you, Back to the Future. You know, God wanted me to live in misery. I don't know why he did this to me for. I'm in misery, man. It's like, I don't want to be in misery. I got 2 kids, but I'm miserable. My heart is broken. My chest, I feel it. It hurts. Everything, can't breathe. I'm dealing with too much. I know you're all going to say, get that. I'm going to get therapy. I promise. I'm going to get therapy. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to go to the grief share. I'm looking into it right now. I'm going to do all of this stuff. I just can't believe this is real. I could have accepted anything. Can I tell you something? Just not the loss of my wife. Okay? Anything. Why could I have accepted my mom? She was 75. Again, I'm sorry, but I love her. I love my mother, but at least she saw the grandkids grow up. At least she raised me. She did her part in this world. Like I have to do my part, right? I got to raise my kids now. Unfortunately, as a single dad, which I didn't want. I don't want this. But my mom did her part. She did a wonderful job, my mother. I'm proud of her. I love her. I'm proud of her. And she even saw her grandkids grow up. You know, my wife was too young. 46 was too young. Too young. That's it. I can't accept what happened to my wife. And I just wish God would have been more merciful. That's all. I wish he would have been more merciful. And he would have gave her more time because we needed her. I just wish, this can't be the real world, but it is. I know this is the real world. I don't think it is. When you go through what I go through, you have trouble believing you're in the real world. I'm still thinking that this is like some kind of glimpse, like it's a dream. Like at some point, I'm going to go back to the real world with my wife and my mom. Oh, so sad, guys. I'm going to live the rest of my life this way. I'm living the rest of my life so heartbroken and so down and so miserable and chest pains and hard to breathe and all this stress now, financial stress because we lost our household income and I lost my wife and I lost my mother. It's like, it's horrible what I'm going through. It's just absolutely, absolutely horrible. And that's why I wish I could touch people. I wish I could just reach your hearts and say, you know what, Apefather, here's $10. If enough people did it, we would probably be out of this mess that we're in. We're in a mess. We're in a mess. We need a lot of people, to just come through here and just like $10, $15. Help us out. That's why I'm trying to earn it. I'm not looking for handouts here. I'm trying to entertain all of you. I want to earn it. Believe me, I'm a person who likes to earn things. People they're like, oh, you're a beggar. I'm not a beggar. I'm performing music. I'm entertaining people. I'm trying to earn this. $ Richard Lavoie. That is the Cash App. It is the $ capital RICHARD, capital LEV as in Victor OI. No space, no underscore in between my first and my last name. That is my Cash App for entertainment tips. And like I said, if you go to the comment below that's pinned, you'll see it. Just Jessica and CS. It's at the bottom of this page. Click on that pinned comment. You'll see the Cash App. The $ Richard Lavoy, $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. Let's do a little Brooklyn funk. I came from Brooklyn, New York, just like Jackie, right? Jackie from Brooklyn. Little Brooklyn funk there. Anyway, I only do original music. Flora, I don't know if you were asking me to do a cover. I only do originals here because other than that, the live stream will not be monetized by YouTube for copyright reasons. But anyway, thank you, Janice. Like I said, if anybody could consider a very small Cash App as an entertainment tip, the $ Richard Lavoy, $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. No space, no underscore in between my first and my last name. I don't know if I'm reaching anybody. I'm just so heartbroken. I can't believe this is my real life. I wish the world would care a little bit. Yeah, it would be nice. You know, when you're dealing with stress like I'm dealing with, you don't want to deal with financial stress. You really don't. It'd be so nice if everybody would just say, Rich, here's $10, you know. I know nobody cares. This guy is mean, this guy. Some people care, but you got to find them. You got to find them. There are people who care. That's the way the world should be. If you want me to tell you the truth, the way the world should be is that we should all care about each other when we're going through tough times. You know, because if you're not going through a tough time, like, and I'm not necessarily, look, I understand everybody could say we're all going through tough times, but I'm talking about like really, really tough times. Listen, I used to think I was going through a tough time too. I'll give you an example, okay? I lost a couple of $100,000 in the stock market because I made a stupid investment choice, stupid company. I'm not going to get into it, you know. AMC, I'll just leave it alone, okay? And at the time, I used to think that my life sucked. I used to stay up all night. Like I couldn't sleep because I was so disgusted with myself. Now I'm up all night for real reasons because I lost the two most important people in my life, my mom and my wife. That's what really matters, family. I don't care about money. I look back at those times. I would go back right now to those days. I'll go back right now in a time machine, go back in time to when I lost a couple of $100,000 in AMC. Give me back my wife and my mom. Okay, those are great days, not bad days, great days. So people don't understand when people say, "Oh, I'm going through tough times financially." Who cares? Who cares? Do you have your family? Do you have your parents? Do you have your husband? Do you have your wife? You know what I mean? You have your children, you have your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins. If you have your family, that's what matters. But I'm talking about family that loves you. Let me be specific. Family that actually cares about you, okay? If you have your family, but you guys don't get along, that's a different story. But if you have family that loves you and cherishes you and you love them and cherish them, then that's the way it should be. And that's all that matters in life. Don't worry about money. Who cares about money? That's what I'm saying. It's like don't even think about it. It's like people get so upset over money. The thing with me, I don't care about it. I just want to be there for my kids. If you want to know the truth, if I didn't have kids right now, I don't even think I'd even be on YouTube. You want to know the truth? I don't know what I would be. I'd probably be somewhere like in Mexico right now. I got nowhere to go. Gonna go to the border of Mexico. So I ride like the wind, ride like the wind. I should be out of here, man. It's like crazy. That's what I want to do. I want to run away from all these problems, but you can't, right? I wrote a song called Runaway. This is also based on my childhood. But now it's a little bit more about what I'm dealing with in my life. Runaway. Let's do a little Runaway. All these years passed by, nothing's changed. Still the same man I was yesterday. I got my dreams, I got my doubts. Tired of this place, I need out. I need out. I wanna run away to a place where I can't feel all this empty space. Run away without a trace. Run away to a place where I can't feel all this empty space. Run away without a trace. Run away. A little shot here. A little quick version of that one. Run away, baby. Thank you, Back to the Future. Anybody, again, who could do a small Cash App as an entertainment tip, help out our family in need. That is the Cash App right there. The $ Richard Lavoie, $ RICHARDLEVOI, capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. No space, no underscore in between my first and my last name. That is the Cash App. I know you guys probably don't want to hear me crying the blues all the time, right? I'm sorry. I'm shot. I'm really, really, really depressed. And I just don't understand why people, don't understand it. I'm not necessarily talking about you. I'm talking about people who I thought were close to me. Just don't really have a support system. Everybody's going through something. Everybody's dealing with something. And that's why what happened to me and my children was so unfair. We had a beautiful family. We had everything. I think that everyone agreed when Grandma passed away that it was something we could kind of live with. Look, everyone loves her. I love my mom. The kids love her. But we all watched her for 8 years not moving. That's what it was. We were watching her for 8 years after her bypass, after her triple bypass. It was sad. It was sad what happened to my mom. But it wasn't the case with Jennifer. Like I said, my mom saw her grandkids grow. I'm not trying to be mean. You know that I love my mom. I love her. I'm just saying that if God would have said, look, I'll take your mom, I would have been hurt. I'm still grieving over my mother, by the way. I love my mother with all my heart and soul. I love my mom. I'm grieving over her. okay? But my wife, if she was here, could have gave me the strength. She could have gave me the strength to get past that. You understand? She would have supported me. I was hoping my mom, when my wife passed away, she was going to give me the strength to deal with my wife's passing. But I'm just saying that losing both my wife and my mom is catastrophic. I can't, it's like God gave me too much. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Look, obviously I wanted my mother to live. Like, can we be straight? Because I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I want my mom here. I love my mom. The grandchildren love their grandma. I'm just saying that one was a little more acceptable. That's what I'm saying. It's not, listen, losing your parents is something none of us want to do, but it's a normal transition of life. At some point, you lose your parents. You're not supposed to lose your love. You're not supposed to lose your spouse at 46. That is not a normal transition of life. That's what I'm saying. It's like when I go to these grieve things I go to, right? You see people, they're in their 80s, they're in their 90s. Like, I love my mother, Janice. I'm not trying to be rude because everybody takes this the wrong way. I love my mother. And if it was up to me, I wanted my mother to live the same way my grandmother Anna lived. My grandmother Anna lived until she was 97. If it was up to me, I'd want my mom to live to 97 to 100. I love my mother with all my heart and soul. I love her. But my wife was just too young. 46 is too young. It's too young. There's no peace there at all. There's just no peace. I'm glad you understand what I'm saying to you. Right. In other words, look, what we want and what we get are two different things, Janice, right? What we want and what we get are two different things. I understand that. I get it, but I also feel that there's something called like fairness. My mom, as sad as it is, somewhat lived a fair life. You know what I mean? She was 75. She saw the grandkids grow up. She saw me grow up. There was a fairness, at least there. There's no fairness for my wife, Jennifer. There was no fairness. She was robbed. We were all robbed. Like, look, can I tell you what would have happened if my wife would have been alive? She's alive. I would be crying my eyes out for my mom. You don't understand, and I do it every night. I cry for my mom every night. I'd be crying my eyes out, okay? And Jennifer could have helped me through it. My wife could have gave me the strength through her love, through her emotion to cope with that. Because it would have been hard for me. I would have still had to go to these grief sessions, these therapy sessions, because I love my mother. It would have been so hard for me. But I think with my wife's love and support, I could have got through it. But losing both my wife and my mother at the same time is catastrophic. This was like someone was trying to kill me. I don't know. I don't know how God feels. If there is a God, I hope there's a God, but I don't know how he feels, okay, that I could deal with this. How does he think that I could deal with losing my wife, then my mom in 2 weeks? On top of losing my entire household income, on top of having absolutely no support, it's like my whole life got completely destroyed. And I want everyone to understand, just 2 months ago, my life was great. I had no problems at all. Beautiful wife, beautiful mom, household income, steady income. Life was great. And just, how does this happen? How does this happen? How does suddenly something happen in your life where all of this gets destroyed in a moment's notice? That's why my mind can't accept it. And I'm trying to make the best out of it. I'm trying to say, okay, what am I going to do now? So that's why I'm doing my YouTube. Yeah, it's terrible, Janice. It really is. It's horrible, man. And then the person was really terrible, who was being very nice to me for about a month or 2 months already, no longer seems like she wants to talk to me because we had a little disagreement. I mean, this was a friend on the internet, but it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy how people can't just say, okay, the guy's going through a lot. Let me overlook it. I mean, geez. But this is, I don't know, Janice, you know what it is? It's everybody, though. It's not just one person. It's like, I could say if it's one person, Janice, everybody seems like they want to take a break. Who's this here? Hold on. Who are they barking at? What? What?
No, Michael just had to let the dogs.
Yeah, let them out.
Yeah.
Dogs had to go outside. Not everybody loves like you. I know that. My wife did. My mother did. And that's all I needed, Janice. And my kids. This is gonna be tough, Janice. My kids need me, Janice. I'm not right no more, Janice. I'm not right. I'm too heartbroken, Janice. You seem like a really nice person, Janice. Maybe one day we could even talk on the phone. You seem like a really nice person. Nothing. It's a long story. I don't want to get into it because it's kind of like personal. Let's just say that I was asking her to do me a favor and she wanted to do it for me. What's up there? She wanted to do me, it was a favor that she was going to do, but she didn't want to do it. She wanted to do it on Monday. I wanted her to do it like either yesterday or today for me. And it had just something to do with our family. It was a family favor. That's all. I don't want to say what it is because it's kind of a personal matter, but so she didn't want to do it when there was a very specific reason I wanted her to do it on the weekend, let's just say. That was something that benefited my daughter. There was a reason. Oh, my head. But she didn't want to do it. She was like, I'll do it on Monday. And so I kind of snapped out. I was like, I'm asking you for a favor. Yeah, it was kind of an urgent matter. Yeah, it was an urgent matter. I feel it was urgent. Okay, I just can't get into what it is. Please understand. It was a family matter. Okay, it was a let's just say it was a family. It was regarding a family issue that had to do with the wildfires. Okay, I'll tell you that much. It had to do with the wildfires, and it had to do with someone who we really needed to hear from. And let's just say that this particular person was developing a relationship with the other person where they could be in contact with them. That's all. That's all I'll say. And it's a complicated thing. Yeah, it's private, but it's just something that it's just that my daughter needed certain support. I'll just leave it. I'll leave it at this, Janice. She needed support by someone that was close to her. That's all. And she wasn't getting that support. That's it. It wasn't nothing like, I don't want you to worry. It was nothing bad. It was just something, like a support issue. And the person who I was speaking to, let's just say, no, she's okay, my daughter. Like the person who I was speaking to potentially could have fixed that matter. And, I wanted as a favor for that person to help us, but she said that she didn't want to do it on the weekends. It was like we were just asking to do it on the weekends. That's she was like, I'll do it on Monday, and which would have been fun, I guess. I just should have left it at that. I just got a little upset, and I just was like, don't give me this bullshit. I said something like, you could do it now, whatever, and I just kind of lost it. It's just a combination of everything I'm dealing with, and so she hung up on me, and I tried to apologize. I left an apology voicemail. I sent a couple of texts apologizing, but what are you gonna do? That's the way it is now. So now that I guess I take the person off, that's it. They block you. That's what they do. Crazy, stupid. This is a person that really fully understood everything I'm going through. Well, I'm anxious over a lot of things. I'm anxious over my daughter. Yes, her well being. I'm anxious over losing my wife, losing my mom. I'm anxious over losing our household income. I'm anxious over the wildfires. I'm anxious over certain family members that are doing this stuff, like that I'm not going to mention who, but I'm anxious over a lot of things. This is not the life I wanted to live, Janice. I didn't want to live this life. I wanted to live the life I had 2 months ago. I mean, I know what people are gonna say. I get it. People are gonna say, "Well, that's not the way it is. You got to just accept things in life." It's hard to accept all of this. Okay, it's hard. All right, it's hard. I can't believe that my wife passed away. She's only 46 years old. This was a shock. All right. And I don't think I'm ever going to really truly accept this, how quickly this happened, everything that went down with it. And I feel like very depressed to the point where, you know, I'm having a difficult time with this. This is really, really difficult. Yeah, the teenager started that fire in New Jersey. But I'm not doing well. I'm really, really not doing well. Heartbroken. And I don't know how I'm gonna continue with it's just a hard life to continue with. It's like, I want people to understand that I'm suffering. This is and I need support. I need support. I need your support in two ways. First of all, your kindness, you know, your prayers, everything. I need good-hearted people. It doesn't make a difference. I'm both. I'm both the Apefather and Richard. Apefather was just used to be a person a long time ago. That was a very fun guy. He was a wild guy. You know, he was part of that whole AMC movement. We called ourselves the Apes. That's how it all started. But like Richard was always the more serious person. Of like I have multiple personality. Like Richie Lavoie is like the piano player. He's the serious guy. He's the father, the husband. Ape Father is a wild and crazy guy. Man, I just wish that yeah, Will. I don't know what I'm gonna do, Will. I just wish that we could go back in time, man. I don't know how this all happened so quick. I just don't get it, man. It's too hard. Will, I'm scared. If you want me to tell you the truth. Just lost too much, man. Too much stress, financial stress, emotional stress. Yeah, I'm getting a little tired. I don't really sleep that well. I feel so bad for my kids because I'm always there for them and I always make them happy. But these last couple of days, they're not going to go back to school tomorrow. I still took them out yesterday. They had a great time, but these last couple of days, for some reason, I don't know. Everything has been hitting me really hard. I'm starting to, I think, accept it. That's what's happening. I think I was in denial. I'm really starting to accept that my wife and my mom passed away. I know you're probably like, but wait a minute. Did they pass away like 2 months ago or so? What started at the end of February? You know what it is, Janice? You're right, but you know what it is? God hit me too hard here. Better Mail, don't change the direction of the conversation, please. The car's fine. You know what it is, Janice? It's like the first care is acceptance care. I'm not really in acceptance yet. I think that I got to go through whatever it is I got to go through to get myself in acceptance. Anyway, like I said, if someone could be cool enough to consider a Cash App, that would help me out a lot. Listen, if I could get myself back on track financially, I bet you it did, better mail. I can see how this could take so long ago, so long. It's like I said, this is more than just grieving. See, can I tell you what grieving would be, Janice? You want to hear like a normal grieving? I spoke to a lot of people. I spoke to a lot of people that went through the loss of loved ones. I said I spoke to about 20 families in the last month, and I see a common thing. I'll tell you what I see with them. Typically, if someone passes away in their family, they have someone left. So you might hear someone say, "My father passed away, but I still have my mom." Or you might hear somebody say, "My mother passed away, but I have my father." Or you might hear somebody say, you know, "My parents passed away, but I got my brother, I got my sister, I got this, I got that." So the thing is that I don't have anybody left. That's what the problem is. So in my case, my entire family passed away. Like I said, if I had at least one of them left, I knew you all were gonna say, "But you got your kids." You know what it is, man? Better mail. This was too much. That's the bottom line. I'm gonna do all the things you're saying. But I have to make money right now. That's the thing. It's hard for me to go out and make friends. I got to make money, you know. God bless your sister, by the way, Better Mel. God bless you and God bless your family. And God bless your sister. I'm sorry. Salud, Gintani. It's just, I'm miserable, guys. I'm living in misery. I'm living in misery. God took too much away from me. He took too much away. That's it. Like I said, I'm trying to compromise with God. I don't want to lose my mom. I didn't want to lose her. But if he took my mom and he left my wife, that would have been the normal grieving process. See, that's what Janice is talking about. That would have been a normal grieving process. You follow me? My wife would have been here because you need someone. When you grieve, listen to me, when you lose someone, you need someone there to help you. You need someone, you need a support system, you need someone there. And most of the time, majority of the time, people have it. Like if you go back in time and think about times that maybe if you lost a loved one, like better male, you probably had someone there besides your therapist, right? Maybe you had your parents, you know what I mean? You had somebody. Most of the time, that's the case when I speak to people is that they have someone left. You know, I lost my father, I have my mom. I lost my mom, I have my father. So like that's what I'm trying to say. See, to me, that's part of the normal grieving process is that you lose one, you don't lose all. You don't lose your whole support group in one shot, like I did. I lost my whole support group in one shot. I lost my mom, I lost my wife all in 2 weeks. It's too much. It's too much. Like I said, if I would have lost my mom would have passed away. I don't know. Like I said, better male. I don't really have a support system. I don't know, man. I have no idea who you're referring to. Brennan Barnwell, you're a good man, Brennan. This is my Billy Joel brother here. A lot has changed since me and you used to do our Billy Joel songs together. Well, if it's Jen's side of the family, I could tell you right now that that's a done deal. Better mail. That's finished. But anyway, you could let me know. You could email it to me. There's no one. There's no support system, man. What's up, Telly? God bless America. God bless Telly. Thank you for your service. It's just like I said, guys. I don't want to accept. It's just, you know what I think it is, Janice? This guy, man. Sometimes people want to blame someone when someone passes away. I don't know. I get that impression. There's got to be like a villain. I don't know. Sometimes that's what people do. That's their thing, and I think that applies to a lot of people. You know, that applies to a lot of people. Some people want to blame, but you see, the thing is, they don't want to blame themselves. You understand? I'm not going to get into anything on this live stream, but here's the bottom line: I gave Jennifer the greatest life in the world. Here's the facts. You want to hear the facts? I gave her everything she ever wanted. I made her the happiest woman in the world. Same thing with my mom. I did everything. But some people, that's never enough. Some people will say, well, you should have took it to the doctors more. You should have did this, or you should have did that, or you should. And I say to these people, why couldn't you help? Where were you? Where were you? It's like people never want to take responsibility. Like my mom shouldn't even have came. You want to hear the truth? When I was grieving my wife and my mom was coming out of rehab, you want to hear the truth? She should have went to one of her family's house. I'll just say that really quickly. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying I was grieving my wife. I wasn't mentally right to handle my mother in that condition that she was in. She was in a very serious condition. She shouldn't even have left the rehab. But I'm just saying. But I think that's what happens with a lot of people. No, 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 no. I mean, Janice, I did everything for my wife. I did everything for my mother. I did everything for them. Everything. There was nothing more I could do. I'm not going to explain this to you, me. I went back and forth with this 100 times, man. I just tell you the way it is, man. Shock is a real thing. Yeah, I'm in shock. Oh, I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry, Will. Let me read this, Will. My sister didn't want her knowing about it because she didn't want to upset her. My sister, who passed away from cancer in 2019, the crazy part is she didn't want our own mother knowing about it because she was in a nursing home at the time. It's funny you mentioned that, Will, because that's exactly what happened to my wife. That's exactly what happened to my wife. No, no, but that's exactly. My wife didn't really look. My wife wanted just very, very simple things for her own reasons. Like she didn't want a big service. She just wanted us, the kids. We also included her in a big service with my mom. That we did something beautiful for her. But my wife just wanted everything very small and private, and she didn't want nobody to know anything. I winded up telling, her family. I told them that my wife didn't even want nobody to even know anything. She didn't want anyone to know she was in the hospital. She didn't want to know. That was her choice. It's nothing to do with me. Yeah, it's like she just didn't want, for her own reasons, and I don't want to get into it. Look, I don't want to, I don't want to stir up things here. I don't want to do that. Okay, but my wife was a very private person, and that's just how she was. I think what the truth is, I think it's because we all were hoping she was going to get better, and then she was going to tell everybody. That's the way my wife did things. That's the way she did things. She didn't want people to know when she was in a bad position. You understand? She wanted people to know when she was in a good position, not a bad position. So that's why she was like, just keep everything, quiet. I did tell my mother about, and of course it upset her, Better Bale. Of course it upset her. Well, listen, it's not that I'm telling people my business. It's just that me and Will are relating to something, Back to the Future. That's all. My wife was a private person. That's it. She was a private person. And, maybe that upset people, that she's a private person. That could have been something that upset people, but I was only following her wishes. You know, my wife wanted things to be quiet. She didn't want people to know because I think she knew she was in a serious situation. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe she knew and she just wanted to get out of it. She wanted to fight through it. She was a fighter. She was the greatest fighter in the world, my wife. And maybe that's what it was. She wanted to fight through it. And, maybe some people took that as, well, you should have told me, you should have told. We didn't see, people don't understand that this happened so fast. It happened so fast that I'm in shock. It happened so fast, my children are in shock. My wife always recovered. See, this is what people don't understand. When my wife went to the hospital, she got better. She recovered. She came home every time for 10 years. Every single time she went to the hospital, she got better. She recovered. She came home. Every single time. That's what people don't understand. My mother understood what happened with my wife, Better Mel. And she was very heartbroken over it, obviously. Look, you have to understand at the end of the day, all we could do, Will, okay, is respect the wishes of other people, right? Like, especially our loved ones. That's all we could do. And I just wish people would understand that. Like, you want to hear a great example of this? Okay. I did not want to cremate my wife. Okay. You want to hear something? You want to hear something, Will? I have nightmares every single night that I had to cremate my wife. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. Let me be clear. I didn't want to do it. But she wanted it. My wife wanted it. It was her wishes. It was her wishes. She did not want to be buried. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to grant her wishes. I'm not going to do that. Do you understand? So if I would have done something else that maybe I would have felt would have been, more calmer to me, I wouldn't be granting her wishes. So what people don't understand is that we are just basically the slaves of other people's wishes. And people should not hold us responsible for anything. It's their wishes. It's the same thing. I'll give you an example. Okay, let's talk about my mom for a second, okay? My mom didn't like going to the hospital. She fought me and fought me and fought me. I love my mother, but she always fought me. She fought me. I used to tell her, Ma, you got to go to the hospital. No, I'm good. I'm good. One time, my mom had COVID. I'll tell you a story. And she was coughing and coughing and coughing like crazy. I'm like screaming at her, Ma, you have to go to the hospital. You have to. She's like, I'm good. It's a drip. It's a drip. I'm like, Ma, it's not a drip. You got to go to the hospital. 2 weeks straight, I'm begging my mother to go to the hospital. I finally got her to go. It took me 2 weeks. And when she went, they're like, you have COVID. Okay? So, but the point I'm trying to say to you is not my fault. I can't force people to do anything in this world. That's it. Someone's going to do something. It's up to them, Look, my wife was a fighter, and she did fight for 10 years. But again, I understand you're being nice, but let me tell you why it upsets me, okay? And I understand you're being nice. You don't understand. She didn't look like a person who had cancer. She didn't. If you look at my wife's videos, okay, because she had a YouTube channel, Wigglicious, she didn't look like a person who had cancer. She was so strong. She was it was still a shock. It was a shock, all of this. And it wasn't even a cancer, it was the pneumonia, it was aspiration pneumonia, which I know it was cancer related. Because of the brain, but look, man, this whole thing sucks. Again, it goes back to God. You want to hear why it goes back to God every single time? Look, you know when we need God? Do you want to know when? We need God when we cannot fight a battle ourselves. That's it. Look, if we can do something ourselves, we don't need God, correct? We don't need him. When we're fighting, like I always use this analogy. If it's midnight and you're in the middle of the ocean, I use this analogy all the time. And there are sharks surrounding you. right? You're finished, right? Let's be honest. What could you do? Will, what do you do in this situation? It's pitch black. It's pitch black. You're in the middle of the ocean. There are sharks surrounding you. What do? You're done, right? Okay. You know what you do? You pray to God. That's what you do. That's what you do. You pray to God. Now, the question is, why do you pray to God? Because you are in an impossible situation. You are in an impossible situation. You're in a situation that a mere mortal, a human being cannot fix. That's why you pray to God. God, please get a boat over here. Anything, something, help me. Help me. My wife needed God because she was fighting a battle she couldn't win on her own. God, in my opinion, could have stepped in. God could have said, I'm going to help you. I think about the verse in the Bible was footprints. During the hardest times in your life, you normally see two set of footprints, but the hardest time you only see one set of footprints. So you question God. You say, God, if this is the hardest time of my life, why don't I see two sets of footprints? Shouldn't you be next to me? And God says, the reason you see one set of footprints, Jesus said, is because I'm carrying you. I'm here with you. I'm carrying you. And that's what God needed to do for my wife, in my opinion. He needed to help her. Now, you might say, well, he took her to paradise, right? That might be, you might say that. Me, you want to know what it is? Again, this upsets me, these comments. Listen to me. God created the world. God created humanity. He made us all in his image, right? Okay. He's supposed to intervene. Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And you know how many times people tell me that God does intervene? This is what I'm saying. I can't do this anymore with people because everybody's a hypocrite. 1 minute people will say this. You want to hear what people will say? They'll say, oh, I had a surgery. It was a success. God helped me. Or so we'll say, I was praying for this job. God came through. God helped me. So people believe in this stuff. Or, I was in a car accident and it was I thought I was going to die. God did something. God stopped. It was miraculous. It was, okay. So a lot of people believe that God does intervene. Okay. And I believe it too. I'm one of those people. And I just feel, so what does it mean? Is he selective? Does he just pick certain people? I'm just saying he should have helped my wife, in my opinion. That's all I'm saying. I understand that, me. Listen, we could have a lot of arguments over this. Why did God even let 9/11 happen and the Holocaust and everything? Listen to me. I understand your point, but then there's other cases too. You understand? There's other cases where people have said in history that God has saved them. So I'm just saying, I don't want to go back and forth with this because there's too many examples. Me and you could literally role play this for like 5 hours. Okay, we could role play this for 5 hours. Think about the miracles in life that happened, right? Then you attribute that to God, right? Thank you, Amanda. It's funny you said that. Look, when God took my wife and my mother, I said that, Better Male. I was like, maybe you should take me too, because I'm going to be so miserable now. How am I going to live? But the problem is, I think he left me because of my kids, right? I have to take care of my kids, but I'm taking care of my kids in a miserable state. I don't want to be miserable. Look, they're not miserable. Okay? Can I be clear? Because I think a lot of people misunderstand this when I say this. They're not miserable. They're okay. My kids are okay. My kids are fine. They're having fun. They enjoy themselves. They're eating. They go out. They have a great time. My kids are okay. I'm just saying I'm miserable, not them, me. Because I lost too much. I lost my wife. I lost my mom. They're not miserable. I'm miserable. I'm living this suffering life. And I don't know why. I don't know why God did this to me. I have to say God. People keep saying, but why do you keep saying God? Why is it God? Well, that's just the way I see it. Because he could have been more merciful. He could have been merciful. He could have let Jennifer live. You want to take my mom? Again, I don't mean to sound, I love my mother. I love my mother with all my heart and all my soul, and I will love her for all eternity. I love my mother. But my mother was 75. Jennifer was 46. It's like a 29-year, 30-year difference right there. I didn't want my mother to pass away. I love my mother. I wish that she would have lived like my grandmother Anna till 97. And I thought she was going to. And you know what? She probably could have if she got the right checkup. We had to get, we had to get her. Listen, it's the same thing. We could say this all day long. Nobody knew that my mother had this condition. Nobody knew it. You can't do that stuff to yourself. I can't stand life anymore, guys. I can't stand it. What happened to my life? Why did God do this to my life? I had a beautiful, beautiful life. What happened? My life got effing destroyed. Why? That's the question. I have questions for God. I believe in God. Me. I believe in God. Yes. I am angry at him. That's what it is, me. You understand? I believe in God, but I'm angry. I don't know why. I have to blame God. And I'll take, because at the end of the day, God could have been more merciful. He could have been more merciful. He could have said, Rich, don't get mad. I'm going to take your mother. Now I would have been like, please don't. I love my mother. Rich, it's her time. It's her time. 75. She's not moving anymore. She's not walking. It's best that she goes to a beautiful mom. She's going to go to paradise now, Rich. She's going to go to a beautiful mom. She's going to go to a beautiful father. Now here's the thing. I would have been, obviously, and I still am, because I know how I feel right now with my mother. I cry about her every night. I would have been a disaster. But the thing is, leave my wife. Let my wife comfort me with her love and her emotion. Let my wife help me heal. My wife could have helped me heal. Look, if God came down to speak to me, better male, all I'd want to do is just ask him. I want to ask him, how in the divine plan that you have, where does it say, right, I have to lose both my wife and my mother in 2 weeks? Like, explain to me how that's part of your divine plan. And then, like you said, you see these people in this world that are evil people. Listen to this. You see these people that live amongst us, that are these disgusting human beings, and they're alive, right? These people, they're a disgusting. I saw this guy the other day. He was driving 100 miles an hour. There was this old woman. I swear to you, I'm not kidding you. She falls down. He almost ran over this old woman. Okay, I swear to you, I got out of the car. I helped her. I said, "Are you all right, ma'am?" And the guy like took off. He was going like 100 miles an hour. You know, there's psychopathic, lunatic people out there, crazy psychopath, and these people live amongst us. And you ask yourself this question: why are these people alive? Like, why are these people here? Like, why does God allow these people to live, and then He takes away good people? He takes away people that are great people. From my daughter, from my son. My daughter's 11. She needs her mother. She needs a grandma too, but she definitely needs her mother. And my son's 14, and he needs his mother and grandma too. But again, they definitely need their mom. And it's just, I don't understand it. You know, better male, I agree with you. That's why I have my doubts in God. But look, the thing is this: there has to be a God. There has to be a God. Who created Earth? Who created the solar system? Who created the sun? Who created me and you? Who created, friggin' great white sharks? Or all the creatures that are in the ocean. Look, there has to be a higher power. There has to be a God. I do believe there's a God. It's not random events. It's impossible. It's not random events because there always has to be an origin. Remember, if you go back to everything, the Big Bang Theory, if you go back to whatever you want to go back to, evolution, whatever you want to talk about, there always has to be, ready? There always has to be an origin. There always has to be something that started it. So that's God. God is the origin. Trust me, do it. Role play one of the events, better male, in your head.
role play it, and you'll notice at some point it has to go back to God because there has to be an origin. There has to be a beginning. So that's God. I believe there is a God, Jadis. I believe there is a God. I just don't understand why he did this to me and my family. I just don't. I'm living the most effing miserable life that a human being could possibly live right now. And it's terrible. And I'm doing this under circumstances where I have two children and I have to be there for them. It's it's effing terrible. It's like I said, leave my wife, leave the kid's mom, and we would have been all right. We would have all been crying. We would have been hurting if we lost my mother. We would have all been crying and hurting because we all love her so much with all our hearts and soul. But taking my wife and my mother is too effing much. He might as well have just taken me too. He might as well. He might because he's leaving me to suffer. Why are you leaving me in this world to suffer for? That I don't understand. Because he's like, well, you have to take care of your children. I know I got to take care of my children, but I want to take care of my children the way that it was supposed to be, which was me and my wife. We were a partnership. We were a team. That's the way it was supposed to be, God. It was supposed to be me and Jennifer taking care of our kids. It wasn't supposed to be just me. And yeah, then I have anger with doctors. I mean, I do. It's not just God. I mean, but the truth is that she was very sick. But the truth is, again, it goes back to God. Like, all right, when do we need God the most? When we're in a situation where we can't handle it. That's where we need God the most. When we're in a situation we cannot handle. That's it. We're in a situation we can't handle, we need God. When we're in a situation we can handle, we can do it ourselves. God helps those who helps themselves. We can help ourselves where we're in a situation that we can help ourselves. But we're in a situation, like I said, I always give the same analogy with the sharks in the ocean. There's nothing you can do. You can't, as a human being, what can you do? If you're in the jungle, right, and you get surrounded by, I don't know, like friggin' 10 lions, right, and they're ready to eat you to pieces, what do? You pray to God. You pray to God. I'll speak to a priest. I haven't yet, but I don't think they're going to make me understand it. There has to be an origin, though, B. Uh, Look, I've been through this with so many people. I've spoken to mathematicians. I've spoken to scientists. I have. I actually spoke because I've always wanted to hear different perspectives on creation. And what I've noticed is that in every single case scenario, there has to be an origin. There has to be a start. So if you want to talk about mathematics, if you want to talk about formulas, there has to be something that started that formula. There has to be an origin. The origin is God. That's it. And that's the thing. So you could come up with a theory that would technically work. You could come up with a theory and say, look, this is what created the sun. This is what created the earth. This is what created this. So you could come up with a theory that's not God. But the thing is, at some point, there has to be an origin, a beginning. Michelle P., first of all, Michelle P., listen to me. You're off in all your statements. In all your statements. Okay. In all your statements. Okay. First of all, the donation part, it's called an entertainment tip. I am not a charity. I appreciate it, but I'm not a charity. It's called an entertainment tip. Okay. The next thing is that you're asking a question that is inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Okay. And you know it is. Let's just leave it at this. There's $7,000 a month we lost. Okay. That's it. Obviously, like when you say, is there anything else coming in? The answer has to be yes, right? I'm working on getting the Social Security. I got turned down for some reason for unemployment. I thought I was going to get that, but they were basing it on 2025, because I didn't work that much in 2025. So I'm trying to appeal that to see if they'll base it on 2024. So there's certain things I'm working on, but it's an inappropriate question. It's just, you know, Let's just leave it at this. We're in a hard financial situation. We lost 7,000 a month. Nothing I can do can make up for that. Social Security, anything else I do will not make up for it. Michelle P, look, I think you understand my situation. I don't know why you ask these questions for. I think you know I'm in a very hard position. I think that you asked this question because you're trying to discredit me in some way and you're trying to hurt me further, if you want me to be honest with you. Because there's just no reason for a person to ask that question. There's no good reason. Tell me, what's the good reason? Like, why are you asking that for? Why would anybody ask that question? You're asking that question because you're trying to be like, oh, so you have this money. Michelle, look, please don't make me, Michelle, don't make me kick you off. Yeah, I got to just kick her off. Whenever somebody tries to get like too personal, they're trying to hurt you, they're trying to discredit you. And I don't know why they're doing that, but that's what they're trying to do. You're probably right. Anyway, I'll be back in a little bit. My life sucks. I don't even know why this happened. I just don't get it. I don't understand why this is happening to me. Every day, Janice, I wake up and I think to myself, is this just a dream? But Janice, if you ever want, you seem like a really nice person. You could email me, okay? Email me at richardle101 at gmail.com. Let me repeat that. It's Richard, RICHARDLE101 at gmail.com. Yeah, you seem like a cool person. Maybe one day we could talk or something. Just dealing with too much here. I just said that a second ago. I said that. I said if God would have left my wife, okay, and my mom passed away, again, I love my mom. I love her. But my wife could have helped me to cope with that. That was the point I just made. What's up, Agent 38? I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Thank you, Janice. Like I said, if you ever want to email me, you could. It's Richard, RICHARD, L as in Larry, E as in Edward, 101 at gmail.com. Up to you. I just don't understand what I'm going to do now. This is not the life I wanted to live. I just want to be clear to all of you. I'm living a life right now I don't want to live. This is not what I wanted to live. I didn't want to live this life. I'll say hi to the kids, Back to the Future. I didn't want to live this life. I don't want to be a single dad. I don't want to be alone. I'm alone in life. I have no wife. I have no mother. I lost my complete household monthly income. I have no support system. Again, I didn't need a support system. When my wife and my mother was alive, I didn't need a support system because they were my support system. They were my support system and I was their support system. Don't hurt yourself, sir. That's a stupid comment. Yeah, I don't really sleep well, better male. I do sleep, but it's broken sleep. It's broken sleep, you know? I'll sleep for like an hour, I'll wake up. I'll sleep for 2 hours, I wake up. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, 3 hours, 4 hours, but mostly a couple hours. I'll be back in a little bit, all right? God bless all of you. And remember, before I go, if anybody would be cool enough to do a Cash App, yeah, it's a good idea, better mail. If anybody would like to do a small Cash App, you'll see it on the bottom of this chat. It's the Just Jessica and CS comment. The comment is pinned at the, my Cash App is right there. It's on the bottom of this chat. Just click on the comment that's pinned, Just Jessica and CS. I may not rest that much, to be honest with you. My kids want to go out, but anyway, Just Jessica and CS. You see the comment that's pinned? You'll see my Cash App right there, the $ Richard Lavoie, $ capital RICHARD, capital LEVOI. There's no space, no underscore in between my first and my last name. Appreciate if someone could really do a Cash App and help out our family. We are all going through the hardest time in our life. Even if it's a small $5, $10, anything you could do. God bless you for your consideration. Again, just click on the comment below on this screen, just Jessica and CS, and you'll see the Cash App right there. I'll be back. God bless.